Hey everybody, it's Rob here. We just got the full reveal of all class Ascendancy officially here from GGG on the X account, and also an announcement here on the forums. And there is a ton of cool stuff. I want to give you a bit of an overview, some possible cool combinations, and also what I think I'm gonna play, or at least lean towards to. So we have all the different Ascendancy classes, and keep in mind, this is a big choice because you can't revert them. Once you pick your Ascendancy class, every class has 2 of them, you cannot revert it. So starting here with the Storm Weaver, we have some pretty sick notes here, especially if you're reading all the way down here, the 8, and then especially combined with 9 and having some crazy mana stacking here on the Stormweaver with Arcane Surge, where you basically gain 10% more cast speed and 20% more mana generation, and Force of Will, where you basically increase the effect of Arcane Surge per maximum mana. And a lot of the Sorcerer and the Stormweaver here is also stacking mana already with things like Pure Power on the skill tree, and also Arcane Intensity, where you're basically getting more spell damage per mana, and you're getting increased lightning damage per int, and int also gives you mana. So Sorcerer is definitely eating good here. Lots of cool mana combinations that are possible here. Next is the Chronomancer. This is the one that can basically stop time. We also got a ton of reveals here. We just don't know exactly yet how the cooldown on some of these spells is, like Temporal Rift, for example. And also, we don't really know how it's going to work in party, but this is probably going to be something that I'm looking forward to be testing with this like time freeze, because I think it's just a really, really cool mechanic. But I'm not planning on going Sorcerer, even though I think it's a very cool class, and especially the Chronomancer here looks to be one of the most exciting ones. Next, we have the Titan here. This is the Warrior melee class enjoyer, and this might just be the class that I'm gonna be starting. I'm probably gonna make like at least show you my build once I fully decide, but look at this cool spell here. There's a skill called Hammer of the Gods, and you see this boom. It's like this big hammer coming from the sky. This is like a boss, and just with one big hammer hit, boom, it's taking like 15% of the life. So there is some pretty cool stuff here on the Titan, and I think they just revealed like one of the biggest notes here, big investment but big benefit, which is Hulking Form, which basically gives you 50% effect of the passive tree. And if you're looking at the passive tree, like there's like all these nodes here that give you like a ton of different effects, and especially like going down here to the warrior skill tree, like you're having this like 8% melee damage and stuff like that, and all that I think is being multiplied. And the same thing here for the attributes, so you can choose your strength as attributes here, and it's so crazy, you're getting this all multiplied by 50%. So 5 you know, strength would give you 7 strength now, and so on and so on. The only big downside is that you gotta have to take 4, which is basically like a rucksack here, Colossal Capacity, which only gives you like additional inventory slots, so not really direct power, but I think that's how it's balanced, because else 5 will just be so insane. So it's a 4-point investment going into this, but it looks to be worth it, at least from what I can tell as a somewhat beginning player. It looks pretty cool, pretty straightforward. They also changed or nerfed some stuff already here. Mysterious Lineage used to give 20% life, it's now down to 15, and I think Stone Skin was like double armor from the body armor, now it's only down to 50. So they changed some of the defensive part, but I think revealing the Hulking Form here, this is a very high chance it's going to be my starter build. I'm probably gonna like show this to you like at some point here with the Hammer of the Gods. This one looks to deal like insane amounts of damage here. It can be supported with War Cry. This is just like, you know, like similar to the Barbarian with like a Hoda, like doing like a ton of damage in one hit. We'll see, but I'm strongly leaning towards this. I'm definitely gonna make a follow-up video on this. So that's definitely looking pretty potent here. Then next we have the Ranger. So you see here, this is the, oh, excuse me, actually next we have the Warbringer. There's actually the other one here that is looking pretty sick, especially if you want to revolve your status around blocking. This is the second Ascendancy class for the Warrior. Like, I'm probably more interested in Titan, but this is the Warbringer. And this one is especially crazy, I think, if you want to scale block. You know that the Titan is like your big two-hander kind of thing. And I think the Warbringer here is really more reliant on having like a ton of block chance, going for a ton of block here with all the different effects. You even have a chance here, Turtle Charm, that basically allows you to block like all the hits. So even like the big boss damage hits and things like that. And keep in mind, like blocking, you basically don't take any damage from those hits. So yeah, this Warbringer here looks to be like, there's going to be like a ton of blocking going on this. Then next we have the Deadeye right here. And this is thought to be probably one of the most strongest Ascendancies, at least to some people, especially like group players that I talk to, because there is a skill which is called Rain of Arrows. Let me see if I can find this here real quick. So it looks like this. Rain of Arrows. It gives you 53 arrows and it already does like 160% weapon damage. So if you're taking like 50 times 160, like, I don't know if this is gonna like, this is not officially confirmed if it's gonna be this strong. This is just what's on PoE.skills and on the PoE databases. So, I mean, if this is really true, and then it's also scaling with your frenzy charges. Here you see frenzy charges to fire more arrows. And it looks like the Deadeye here has a crazy combination with the Thrilling Case, basically scaling frenzy charges and then having another 50% of doubling that, and then increasing your arrows and increasing your accuracy, and basically just going pretty ham here with a bunch of Rain of Arrow casts. We'll see how strong that is, but right now a lot of people and streamers here have it listed as pretty much the strongest and most broken skill, at least on first glance. We'll see if that's gonna hold out or turn out to be that way, but that definitely looks pretty strong. So if you want to play like a ranged guy, that's gonna probably be for you. Next we have the Pathfinder here. There's a ton of like notes revealed here. I'm not really sure like how strong poison will be. It's like very hard to tell. I guess nobody knows in the end, especially not me, because I'm not gonna like really be interested in playing like this kind of ranged class. You know me, guys. I'm not really like, you know, playing much of a demon hunters or rogue. It's not really my playstyle. However, this looks pretty cool, and maybe with some like crazy like flask charges, like having like perma flask, and if poison is strong as an ailment effect, as a damage over time, basically, this one could be, the Pathfinder could be pretty crazy. We'll see how all that's going to turn out. Next, we have the Blood Mage, and here, this one is still looking pretty strong, but it already got a bit of a nerf to the core spike here, I think, which was even crazier before. I remember it had like 20 life scaling for one crit, so it already got a little bit changed because it was probably a little strong. But I think the Blood Mage is still gonna be like a unique and like super cool and strong character. And next we have the Infernalist. This is the one that can transform into the demon form. And we finally know what demon form does now, basically, like the shape-shifting stuff. There are some more details here. I don't know if this is confirmed though, but this is some details here that I saw on the websites where you get like extra casting speed. You get 4 levels to all spells while you're in this like demon succubus form. You lose life and you gain spell damage per demon flame. So there is a ton of cool stuff here going on with the demon form. And yeah, just like all the notes revealed, basically, you can check this out. I think this is going to be like one of the ultra like high DPS, high risk, high reward kind of playstyles. But it looks like a ton of fun here. Next, we have the Mercenary. Witch Hunter is probably, like, according to game director Jonathan Rogers, also one of the more casual friendly builds. The Mercenary in general, you have very strong stuff even for party, like looking at No Mercy, looking at like the different things here with the Culling Strike, what you can do, basically like remove an enemy's life, kill them. Culling Strike is like basically like Crushing Blow, like you instantly killing them. And you also have this like crazy scaling that basically like scales your damage based on the HP of the monsters, and you make it lose like between 5 and 30% decimating strike here. You make it lose between 30% of the life, and we don't know exactly how this is going to work in group play, but if you're still able to remove a 30% life of a boss in group play, where you have 6 players and 1 player already does a third of damage in 1 hit, basically, I think the Witch Hunter is going to be pretty crazy. And there's some crazy synergies with grenades and stuff. There's also the Gambling Legionnaire here that has been revealed, I guess, to be pretty good in the end game. There's been a new note here on the 8 enhanced effectiveness. So the inherent bonus from intelligence is you get mana, from strength you get life, and from dexterity you get accuracy. And all these inherent bonuses, basically like your main stat scaling in a way, is doubled. So you're getting double the benefit. And that might be pretty crazy if you want to be like, you know, in stacking, mana stacking, strength stacking, life stacking, dex stacking, whatever. There could be some pretty cool potentially. I think there's also some changes to the resistances. It's not that high anymore. So they already did a lot of changes here based on feedback and based on, you know, maybe their own internal testings. Then lastly here we have the Monk. So first is the Invoker class here. This one might be one of the most tankiest ones that's just been pointed out to me, because it has a thing here that's called physical damage reduction, which seems to be pretty strong and basically like a physical res in a way in Path of Exile 2. And this makes your evasion rating scale with physical, grants you physical damage reduction. And yeah, overall, like this one is one of the more interesting ones with like the avatar, like even combining different elements here and having a ton of like defensive capabilities as well. And then the Acolyte of Cthulhu is like kind of like my second choice as a starter class. I really like this like darkness theme, you know, that the monks have. And we finally have gotten and seen like now what the Flames of Cthulhu do here. They basically give Leech 7% life, 7% mana, and they also can give you 7% chaos damage. You can also scale your darkness. We already knew this before. And there are a ton of like cool synergies with the instant mana leech and the maximum chaos res. I believe we also have like a little bit of a video here where you can kind of see these spirits. So you can see as the monk is attacking, you're generating these spirits. You see there's one, these like flames. So you're getting them pretty frequently, but you do need to pick them. Now the monk is pretty agile, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal picking these up to get those bonuses and those leech elements, but it might still take a little bit. This is the Flame of Cthulhu, the things that you're basically picking there. But yeah, this might be my second class or maybe even still my starter. Again, right now I'm leaning towards Titan, but this looks definitely super cool as well on the monk. So that has been all the Ascendancy classes. I'm going to link this below. It's just like a quick overview and basically like a little bit of my thoughts. And again, I think Titan, log in with hulking form, or maybe even the Acolyte of Cthulhu monk. Looks pretty cool. And then one more thing, you guys. They also just announced that there is going to be drops on Twitch. So if you're watching my stream or any of the content creators streaming in the Path of Exile 2 category, I think for 3 hours you're getting a ton of rewards here, like some nice backpacks, transmogs, and a new town portal animation. I think it's watching for 3 hours, any streamer of your choice. And there's also support a streamer pack again. And this is the pet that you can get, the Chimera pet. Look at this one. Your loyal follower. It can breathe fire in all different kinds of colors. And man, I think this is just one of the coolest things. So I think for 2 gifted subs starting this Friday on any of the Path of Exile section, like I'm going to be streaming the entire weekend. And we're going to be blasting a lot. We'll see how much we're going to die in the story. But we're basically, you know, going to be learning the game and logging in, hopefully teaching some of you as well. And I think it's going to be an overall crazy launch. We don't know exactly if we have enough server capacity. GGG seemed a bit concerned, but I think they've taken like great measures and precautions to avoid a server outage. However, I think we're going to have some, like a little bit of server outage, so like expect that and don't be too like frustrated with it. I think after like a few hours they will sort it all out and we'll see. I'm pretty sure with all these like crazy ascendancies we're gonna see some pretty strong and maybe even broken builds, but GGG has been in the past like fixing these very fast from what I've heard from the community, and I'm really looking forward for the launch. I'm gonna be here the entire weekend. We're gonna blast, and if you want to support the stream, you can do so by watching, by coming by, saying hello, or if you want to and want a nice transmog as well, you can either consider gifting and supporting the community with some subs. we're definitely going to have a build, like maybe we'll corner the Diablo 4 refugees. We'll see. It's going to be a ton of fun, guys. Come by, and yeah, hope I updated you well, and I'll see you soon. GG.